homework, I asked you to try this problem, right? And hopefully we were at least able to set it up and do that. So, Trevor, come on up. Come on up. Come on, I want you to set up the problem for me. Set up the problem the way I would do long division. Okay? I'm not going to trick you into like doing the entire problem here. Calm down. Okay? First thing you have to remember is that if I ask you, oh, click the little pen button. If I ask you to come up, I'm going to have you come up and talk me through it and work through it. Okay? Good. So far, so good. Good. Everyone's perfect. That's fine. Hand it off to somebody. Ah. Now I'm not looking for the entire problem, but come on up, Ryan. And I'm going to ask you, x squared times what is 6x to the 4th? Good, write 6x squared on there. Now go ahead and multiply. So 6x squared times x squared. Good, 6x squared times x. Good, and 6x squared times negative 1. Wonderful. Now you just draw your line. Draw your line underneath there. Good. Okay. And I'm going to have you do a little bit more yet before I have you switch people, okay? Switch your signs for the numbers you just wrote. Good. 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 Now go ahead and add your columns. That first one, now when you add that first one, they cancel out, right? So do not write 0x to the 4th. Just cross them out like he just did. Good. Question? Well, he changed those signs though, remember? Okay, well, we'll fix that. Okay, make sure you put your squared on that 6x up there. That's all that Cheyenne was saying. Up on the top, you have 6x, you forgot the squared. Good. Okay. So all we've done so far was Trevor wrote the problem. Ryan decided what would multiply in. Okay, he multiplied. He changed his signs and added. Okay, come on up. So, we're going to go back through the entire process again, except we skipped one of the steps last time, the bring down step. So you need to bring down the last item, plus 9x, that's right. And now ask yourself, x squared times what is negative 7x to the 3rd? Good. Go ahead and write minus 7x then at the top. Okay, so we divided. Now he's going to multiply. Good. You're doing right. Negative 7x squared. Good. Very good. So now what do we do with our signs? Change them and then we'll add. Good. So go ahead and change your signs. No. You just change it to a plus. You don't change it to plus and negative. You changed it to a plus, and then you put a minus sign there. There you go. Now add your columns. Good. Hand that off. Come on up. Like we said, Cheyenne, practice is what helps to make this perfect. Okay. He didn't change that sign. So Cheyenne, can you make that second minus 7x cubed? Can you change that to a plus 7x cubed? Over? Yeah, there you go. So he didn't change that sign. He just automatically crossed them out, Ryan. Okay, does that make sense? Well, he just knew that they canceled, so he skipped a small step. You should change all of the signs and then add. You should change them all. Because notice now that she changed it, it makes sense that they canceled, right? He changed the second one to a plus, and he changed the third one to a negative 7x. Does that make sense? Okay. Go ahead and bring down your number. Okay, now, x squared times what is 12x squared? No. Notice you already have an x squared, so go ahead and erase that. Yep. Very good. Okay, get back to the pen. Okay, so now we're going to multiply. 12 times x squared. 12 times x. And 12 times negative 1. Okay, change all of the signs. There you go. Good. And add your columns. Okay, now you're close. You just made a small little sign error there, Cheyenne. 2 minus 12 is going to give you, there you go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to take that pen back. So, does that make sense so far? Okay, but now we have a remainder. On the last problem, we did not have a remainder. So we're going to write our answer now with the remainder. So here's how I would write my answer. 6x squared minus 7x plus 12. So I rewrote the stuff on the top, right? Plus, and just like you did when you had a remainder in elementary school, you made it into a fraction, right? Before that, you got to write the letter R, but then after that, if you were dividing two numbers, you got to write like 1/3 if that was the remainder, right? In this case, we'll do the same thing. Negative 10x plus 9, that's my remainder, divided by what I divided by, which was x squared plus x minus 1. Okay, so my remainder is over what I divided by. If there's no remainder, this part means nothing to us. We get to skip it. Cool? Okay, let's try one more problem. Let's try long division with x squared minus 2x minus 9. Sorry, x cubed minus 2x squared minus 9 divided by x minus 3. I'm going to give you a minute to set that up and to try it. So I have Leanne coming up. She set up the problem for us, just a regular division problem. And now I'm actually going to have you do the first step. Can you talk me through the first step, though, this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
What times x would equal x to the third?
Good. Good. What are you doing?
X squared times x equals x to the third.
Okay.
So you subtract them, and then x squared times negative 3 would be negative 3x squared. Then you change the sign.
Wait. When you change that sign, you actually just change it to a plus sign. There you go.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And then you would just subtract,
Add.
yeah. And then bring that down.
Good. Okay, that's enough for you. You did a great job. Hand that off to somebody. So far, we're doing a great job. I like that you're telling me now what to do. Hi, Whitney.
Hi.
What am I doing now?
We're on lesson C, what times what equals 1x squared.
Okay,
Yeah. So this part.
good,
Then multiply the x squared minus 3x.
good.
And I don't change my sign.
So you just subtract?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then I just think in my head plus a problem.
that's fine. That's fine. I just see a lot of students have trouble with that. That's the reason I do that. But if you feel comfortable subtracting, you can do that. Okay, who you picking? Do the last and final step. Come on up. Oops. We'll do that. There we go. So what am I asking myself? Good. Good. Believe in yourself. You know what you're doing. Oh, you would know what you're doing if I push the pen button too, right? Good. Talk me. What are you doing? I don't know. Good. Okay. Lovely. Perfect. Excellent job. Go ahead and stick the pen in and have a seat. You did a fantastic job. Okay. So notice there's lots of pieces here. Now, I wonder, see this original thing, the x cubed minus 2x squared plus 0x minus 9. Could you have factored that, do you think? You couldn't have factored it right away, right? But I know for a fact that x minus 3 is a 0 because she got 0 here, didn't she? So that means that this is a factor. If it equals 0, it is a factor of the original. So on the last problem, was this a factor of this? Good. Okay, so you may want to write yourself a little note on what does it mean to be a factor? How do I know based on my remainder? I'll give you a second to do that. And now that you can tell that something is a factor versus not a factor, you can actually, I can actually factor this now. Are you ready to see it? I'm going to factor it. Okay. I'm going to factor it into x minus 3 times, well, can you factor the x squared plus x plus 3 in your head? Two and negative 1, but that would make negative 2 if I multiplied them, right? And I need it to be positive 3. Does that work? 2 and 1. 2 times 1 is 3.
Wait.
Yeah. 2 and 1, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't work, okay. Does it factor then? Okay. So then the other factor would just be x squared plus x plus 3. I factored it. If I multiply this and this, do I get back? There we go. So, that actually is going to lead us into tomorrow's lesson, which is finding zeros and being able to factor something if I give you one of the factors, okay? But, before I show you tomorrow's lesson, I think it's important to keep practicing this, right? I don't think we have it down yet. I think we got better on this one, but we're not quite there, right? So I have 6 problems for you to do right now.